right, it's 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not used to doing this without Robin here, so I had to bend over and push a button that I don't normally push. David Foreman is on the phone. He's the herbal pharmacist. He's one of the few phone-in guests that has actually been in the studio. We loved it when he was here. And he helps us understand how to be healthier simply by what you choose to eat, drink, or be merry with. Good morning, David. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry. It is kind of strange being on the program and there's no Robin voice.
Oh, my gosh, I know. But you know what it is? Her son came down from New Jersey for Father's Day, so the family is together today, even though it's Monday. But, yeah, they went and did something at the Ringling Brothers Museum or something. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so
wow. I drove through your neck of the woods a week ago with my daughter. A week ago Saturday, I did a college road trip with my daughter. Can you believe that?
Oh, you did the college? Oh, well, and one of the things about road trips is that has to do with what you're going to talk about. You go and you get some gasoline. You say, "Does anybody want something to drink?" Yeah, bring me out a right. And you fill in the blank.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, unless you're really disciplined, you're not going to say water.
Yeah, no, you're not at all. And it's funny, I was just thinking about you, not only because I was going to be a guest with you, but I just made a green tea, and I know you're a green tea fan. But you're right. I mean, most people are not going to drink water, you know, and today's topic on brain health. Interesting thing is like one of the things that I'll bring it up now is a lot of people don't realize that sugar is bad for the brain health, so then they go, well, it's not a problem because I drink diet. And the same study showed that, sugar is really bad for your brain and stuff, and we'll talk more about that. But diet, the artificial sweeteners actually had a threefold increase in health issues. So
really,
So even especially with the topic today of memory and that we're going to be talking about. Memory and focus and things like that. They in the study said that you had a threefold increase in the risk of developing dementia if you were consuming 2 or more diet beverages a day.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm one of those people though, Larry. You know me. I'm a realist. I mean, I'm a health expert, but I'm a realist and. To me, it's everything in moderation. So am I, when I freak out about that? No, but if you are that person, like my mom, man, she used to drink like a 2-liter bottle of diet, and I'll leave out the name, brand, but, it's interesting because I now see like her memory and just, her cognitive function isn't necessarily what it should be.
That's and what's left when you get rid of the sugary drinks and you get rid of all the diet drinks? Now you mentioned green tea. If I get green tea from the convenience store, it's got sugar in it or something. It's not like putting a tea bag in water. It's something different.
No, completely different, and you don't really have control necessarily over that. And you're right. Especially the ones that are pre-made. You're right. Like you really have to read your labels. So this is actually a really cool topic for me because, I think Larry, we're kind of around the same age, and just to let people know, like, but my topic today is really on memory, and what we didn't realize until recently is that sugar consumption ages your brain. The tissue itself, so it ages your brain. So as little as just one sugary beverage a day, and people think, oh, well, I don't drink soda. Well, that's not necessarily the only sugary beverage. There's those juices that you can buy at your, even the convenience stores have them. Maybe you go to a Starbucks, Dunkin' Donut, pick your coffee shop, and the sugar in that, or a lot of people do energy drinks, and go ahead.
I'm David. I'm just curious. How did whoever did the research? How did the researchers put 2 and 2 together? How did they figure out that sugar was causing the brain to not function as well?
So what happened was a group of scientists from Boston University School of Medicine looked at this huge study, and a lot of people refer back to this. It was actually the Framingham heart study. So that's where they got all the information. They started looking at, and there were thousands of people in the study, and what they did is they went back and looked at, other than the heart health, these researchers looked at other components, and we'll call them commonalities or things that just seem to show up. And so in that study, people were writing down like all the things they did in their life, what their lifestyle was. So for me, if I'm writing down my day today,
right.
I can say I had a cup of coffee at 7 a.m. and now I'm having a green tea now. And so they documented that stuff. And then what they looked at is what was their health like? And so that's how this all came about. So it was sort of like they weren't studying directly. I don't think they were taking brain tissue or anything like that. It was more of an evaluation of, these people, their brains aged based on their functionality. And then they even measured even more specifically memory and cognitive function, and found that if you consumed more than 2 sugar-containing beverages a day, it aged your memory by almost 11 years.
Wow, so you have a lot more to remember.
Yeah.
If you're 11 years older, think of all the memories. Now let me ask you this. Doesn't metabolism convert other foods into sugar? Isn't that a natural thing that happens in your body?
Yeah, and we have you're right. We have talked about that in the past when I've done segments on weight loss and how starches are what your body breaks down into sugar real easy. And so yeah, there are other things, but in this particular study they focused primarily just on the sugar and or artificial sweeteners.
Okay, so
but yeah,
do we divide sugar into categories like natural sugar as opposed to like the fructose that might appear in an orange or an apple?
Well, anytime it occurs in the food itself. So like you just mentioned, being in an apple. If you eat an apple, the effect of that sugar is relatively insignificant because of all the other components that go along with it, primarily the fiber. So like high fructose corn syrup is like sugar on crack. The way the body acts to it. But the bottom line is though that sugar is sugar. Honey is sugar. A lot of people, and maybe that's a good example. That's a natural quote form of sweetener that's out there, but it's still, in my opinion, it still has that same negative effect that that sugar does. I mean, white table sugar, is in my opinion the worst because it's been processed to death. But at the end of the day, Larry, it's still they're all still sugar.
Uh-huh.
Like right now, I actually used sugar in the raw in my green tea because I'm not home, I'm traveling, and so I went out to a Starbucks. I'll just say it right up, and they actually have a really nice green tea they serve there, and I actually put a couple of sugar packets in it because I did want a little sweetness today. And again, it's everything in moderation. And obviously with this study, the more sugar beverages I consumed, the more it showed to age the brain, the more it showed to increase your age with regards to memory. Meaning, if I consume those 2+ beverages a day of a sugary beverage, and I'm going to take it outside that, just any sugary food, really. That my brain would have the memory of a 64-year-old, and I don't want that. Larry, I know what you do for a living, right? I mean, you need to stay sharp.
Oh yeah,
you have to have your And so anything that you're doing, I'm saying like, what are you feeding your brain? And if you're feeding your brain too much sugar, you're aging it. So you're going to have for me, I'm 53. I want to have the mind of a 25-year-old, not the mind of a of a 64-year-old. And so that's why it's so important to me.
So my son is 31, and yesterday for Father's Day he took me to this restaurant and they had healthy options. So I didn't know the menu. I just said I'll get what he's got. Whatever he got, I'm going to get the same thing. And what he got was some kind of a sandwich, and it had I think it was turkey. But it had what's the avocado thing called? Guacamole.
Guacamole.
Yeah. It had that all over it, and it was all right. It was pretty good. So is he on the right track? I mean, I got to learn from my own son. Sounds like.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, actually, anything we can do, and actually, I've kind of beaten up sugar and diet sodas and the effect on memory. And actually, one of my tips, I have what I call my ABCDs of either food/supplements that we can incorporate into our lifestyle that do help with memory and brain function. And one of them actually is my A is avocado. And so that's a great thing to do. Avocados are high in good fats. The more good fats we have, the more fat we actually burn, so we'll lose weight. Good fats are good for your skin, but avocados actually, there's studies out there showing that they're an excellent source of certain nutrients that actually help with neurotransmitter production and balancing. So avocado is my A out of my ABCD. so I go for it.
So if we were to eat more of the real things like avocados and et cetera, apples, whatever, do we then not have to take the vitamin pills that we, whatever supplements we buy?
No, I still feel like supplements are a critical component in everyone's. It should be a critical component in everyone's health program. That in most cases nowadays, the food we buy is even nutrient depleted because of just our farming practices that we have, and/or avocados are grown in Mexico, and although my future in-laws have avocado trees in their backyard in Southern California, but most of the time the fruits, vegetables, and things like that we're buying looking for those nutrients are picked way before the ripening phase. They ripen, on the back of a truck or in the grocery store, in your, on your counter or in your refrigerator at home.
Right.
And it's the ripening phase on the plant where the nutrients really start to, get into the food, not ripening on your kitchen counter. So I do believe we need to, we do need to take supplements in addition, but we still need to eat right, but I still feel like we need to supplement on top of that.
Our guest is David Foreman, the herbal pharmacist. He's been with us numerous times, even in the studio one time. On the other side of the break, we'll talk about the rest of the ABCDs, but the thing that kind of got stuck on, you said your future in-laws. That means you proposed to that girl you were dating, huh?
Yeah, yes. I like how you include it. Yes, I actually proposed on May the 4th. And, so I have to keep on reminding myself of that, Larry. But no, the wedding date has not been picked. We've both been there and done that, so it's not like it's a big deal for us to, have a big shindig. So as we say, one of these days we'll just probably show up at a JP and get married.
Okay. All right. Hold on there, David. We need to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds with a heavy thunderstorm moving from the coast to inland for the afternoon hours. The high 83 to 87, and a shower thunderstorm in the evening tonight, a low 74 to 78. Tomorrow looks rather cloudy. Again, a shower thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon inland, a high of 86 to 89. Shower thunderstorm for Wednesday, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, you used to be wired, now you're just tired. You used to be thin, but now you're the heaviest you've ever been. You don't necessarily always have to take a med if your thyroid is playing dead. If you have a thyroid disorder, an acupuncture visit may be in order. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566.
If you find an animal or a bird that needs help, call Animus Foundation at 352-843-6379. They will come and get the animal if you can't take it to them. High school students and those with court-ordered community service can earn required hours in this rewarding environment. And veterans who share a bond with animals and parents who have been through mental or physical trauma are especially welcomed. Families, clubs, and tourists can arrange for tours of Animus without driving for hours or miles. Consider volunteering. Animus needs you.
All right, 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. 84 degrees, by the way. This is about as warm as it's going to get today. Not too bad, but there is rain mentioned. About a 65% chance we'll see rain sometime this afternoon. But again, that's not so unusual for Florida. David Foreman used to be a Floridian. Now he's a Californian, I think, most of the time. he's the herbal pharmacist. So we were talking about your personal life and getting married and all that. So I have something I want to tell you that came to mind. years ago, Robin used to make cakes, like wedding cakes for people. And we were talking about the frosting one day, and it was, believe it or not, and you probably heard this before, pure Crisco mixed with confectioner's sugar. That's how she made the frosting. And that wasn't unusual. Can you imagine eating that today?
Oh my, no, I can't. And I remember that from my mother. I always said my mom was like Martha Stewart before Martha Stewart was Martha Stewart. And I remember my mom making that stuff, and we ate it, and now I'm like, now the whole thought of it just makes me cringe.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, whatever that did to us.
No, I can't.
I don't know. Well, maybe that's why we're getting. Are we getting older? I think we are. We're living to an older age, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, now that when that number 5 starts, your age, then yeah, I think I'm definitely in a new era of my life. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
My son's going to be 21. You were talking about yours, being 31.
Right.
There's a certain point in your life where your children become adults, and you're like, all right, well, maybe I'm getting older now.
Yeah,
it's a reality check, I guess.
That does happen. All right, so you mentioned avocados was the A of an ABCD kind of a formula. So before you go to B, so avocados, it's hard for me to really warm up to them. Besides guacamole, what do you do with them?
Well, it's interesting. Like you can use it as a spread. So instead of like a mayo, you could actually spread a room temperature avocado onto your sandwich and use that instead of a mayo. When I'm with Michelle in California, she loves to make eggs, and she'll cut up avocado and put it on top of it. It adds a creaminess to it. So, you can use avocados just about anywhere. I met this guy years ago when I had my radio program, and he actually used to make a chocolate pudding out of avocado. He would use avocado as the fat.
Oh, wow.
And he would mix in cocoa powder and a natural sweetener, and it actually had the consistency of a chocolate pudding, and that was his healthy way of getting, quote, chocolate pudding without it being, all the gross stuff that probably is, without dairy. Let's put it that way.
All right, so what's the B? What's the B word?
All right, B is blueberries, and actually a recently study out of Harvard showed that it's not just blueberries, it could be any berry. So B is for berries. Berries are high in antioxidants that help fight inflammation all over the body, but in the brain it's particularly, berries are beneficial for helping cut down on the inflammation. Inflammation anywhere usually causes more of a health issue, and with regards to brain health, antioxidants go a long way at keeping your age from that, keeping your brain from aging. So berries is B.
So berries, okay.
Yep, yeah, and any berry, anywhere from a half to a cup a day. Blueberries were what we originally started out with, but now I'm learning that it's any berry. My C in my ABCD is for an ingredient called cognium, COGNIUM. Back in March, I was asked by a company in the natural product industry, Natrol, to review a couple of their products. Cognium was one of them. Cognium is a very unique protein that has been clinically studied, actually over 9 human clinical trials. And the cool thing is their studies have shown that taking just a couple hundred milligrams a day of cognium improves your memory, your focus, your concentration. And the cool thing is, Larry, it's stimulant-free, where a lot of the things that people take would be stimulant. This is stimulant-free, and it works in as little as 3 to 4 weeks.
Wow.
And so I went ahead and guinea pigged myself back in March when they sent it to me to review, and
right.
I got to say I'm a huge fan. It energizes your brain. It helps protect it, similar to an antioxidant. And like I said, it's clinically shown to work to help improve memory, cognitive function, your focus. That's what I've noticed particularly, is that I just feel like it's easier for me to stay focused for longer periods of time. Whereas, when it's like when you work out, after a while your muscle gets fatigued. Well, when you're, reading like I do, doing research,
Right.
you kind of get fried. And I notice I don't get fried as easily now. So Cognium, real easy to find. It's probably new to a lot of people. You can find it even at Walmart. You can find it at Vitamin Shop. But again, it's a great ingredient to add to your everyday program if you have concerns with memory and focus.
Cognium, right?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Cognium, like cognizance. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then last but not least, I know we're probably running short on time here, is my D, and that is for dark chocolate.
Really?
The dark. Yeah, the darker the better. So 70% cocoa or higher. You've got to read your labels. Most people in our country, enjoy milk chocolate. That's not going to be effective. Really cool thing. I found this. This is one of my favorite parts right here. Who doesn't like to hear the herbal pharmacist say, "Hey, go ahead and eat your chocolate"?
Yeah,
right?
really.
A study showed that the seniors who ate more chocolate had a lower risk of developing dementia.
Really?
So and it's not.
You just sold a bunch of chocolate. You just sold all the dark chocolate.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, exactly. So, and it's only like 1 ounce to 2 ounces a day, so it's not like you have to be, chowing down on it. And again, dark chocolate, try to, avoid the sugar, because I already told you, earlier, everybody, that, sugar actually ages your brain and it negatively affects your memory. If you've never had dark chocolate before, I'm just going to warn everybody, it is bitter, and it's supposed to be that way, but there's some really awesome health benefits that go along with consuming some chocolate every day.
No, there you go. So A is for avocados, B is for berries, C is for cognium. That's a new word for me. And D, I know, dark chocolate. All right. David, I know you missed Robin here today, but I'm sure she's having a good time with her family.
Well, hopefully she's doing what I usually do. And she could always at least stream the show, over the internet. She could have done that, So I'm going to give her a shout out. Hey, Robin, hope you're doing okay.
Well, David, hopefully everything's going well for you. Congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you.
On the engagement. And your website is
herbalpharmacist.com.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Herbal Pharmacist.
Thank you, David.
Larry, thank you so much for having me on, man. Take care, all right?
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
All right.
In 1916, Auto Owners Insurance teamed up with local independent agents so customers could get fast, friendly, local service.
Bravo!
It worked so well, we decided to keep it that way. In 100 years,